Alright, this is my second, or I should say third Horizon Zero Dawn video, and we are finishing some quests for the Hunter's Lodge. Now, this is actually my second time making this video. The first time I made it, it was just too long. It was almost 40 minutes long. And so I realized I could go back, and I decided to re-edit it. One of the things I decided to do was to use a feature that would speed up the timing of the film. So this should be running at double speed. I don't know what that will do to the sound of the game, if it'll ruin it or not. But anyway, the purpose of this video is to showcase a typical example of me battling some of the game's toughest enemies. As part of the Hunter's Lodge quest, I had to fight a Thunderbird, or whatever it's called, Lightning Bird, Storm Bird, and I had to fight two Thunder Jaws. One's called a Red Maw. So here I am fighting this Storm Bird. This is the first ever Storm Bird that I've ever battled. And the first thing that I decided to do was to get a mount, because I thought that could possibly help me. But as you can see, it really didn't at all, because the bird just started shooting at it, and it did actually help me by distracting. The bird is targeting it instead of me, but that little Strider wasn't able to do anything against this bird. So this is just to showcase kind of the way that I like to play this game. Rather than just attack outright, I usually try to be as sneaky as possible and see what can I do to attack this guy from a position of safety. Now here I just go ahead and I'm trying to shoot him with the tear arrows to get rid of whatever kind of weapons he's got. But then once I see he's onto me, instinctually I just kind of run away as fast as I can. And I just happen to find this like pretty cozy nook right here, which is actually a surprisingly good protective spot. I don't actually know if this Stormbird even still has, you know, whatever weapons he would shoot at me at this ordinarily, or if I knock them off, but he really can't get to me behind this little place where I am. So I'm able to kind of, this is me researching him to try to see what he's got. I probably already shot off that gun, I'm not quite sure. But now I'm just gonna shoot some arrows at him and try to hurt him. I'm not really an expert marksman, especially when it comes to moving targets. I'm pretty good at hitting things that are staying perfectly still, but if they're moving, not so good. So I have a bit of trouble with this guy, but thankfully once you hit him once, then he stops moving. So you can hit him a few more times. And it looked like another component came off there. Against these stronger monsters, I'm usually just using the sniper bow, and I'm usually just using a combination of the tear arrows with the whatever the high damage arrows are. But I often like load the wrong ones and shoot the wrong arrows. That happens a few times in this video, although not at this moment. So you can see my arrows are pretty strong, and I can shoot 3 at a time. So it shouldn't take too long to deplete this guy, but he does pull a move on me here in a minute. That was me accidentally pressing the wrong button. The move that he pulls is that he lifts himself up and then he sort of backs away. So that, see, he's backing away. And you can tell because his health bar goes away, and now his health bar goes away, and now my arrows can't reach him anymore. So he's basically, I mean, it's kind of smart actually. I don't know if this is intentional on his part, but he's basically telling me, like, you can't do this anymore. You need to come out from behind your rock. So I had to come out. And then this next segment was pretty ridiculous because he was just sort of flying around on top above me, and I was sort of pathetically trying to aim and shoot him, but just constantly missing. It was like really, really hard for me. Those plants getting in my way was part of the problem. This is also, I should just say, this is my first ever battle with the Stormbird. I had encountered a few in the game so far, but had just ran past them. But this quest requires you to kill one, so I am forced to fight one here. And, you know, I'm pretty late in the game. I'm at level 41, as you can see. I have pretty good damage taking capability, and I'm only playing on easy difficulty mode anyway, so the Stormbird was... I mean, you can see he didn't exactly go down with one shot or anything like that, but my arrows were pretty good. This part was disappointing, though. I was hoping to get him with a critical hit, and the capture, it just never came up as an option. I don't know, maybe you can't critical hit these guys. So I had to just get him with arrows. But so that was me fighting a Stormbird. The first half of the battle was more typical of what my fights are like. You know, find a place to hide, shoot at the thing until he's dead. Now there's a second part to this quest, which is to fight a Thunderjaw. And you can go anywhere you want. You can fight any Thunderjaw you want, even though it tells you one that it recommends. I went here, to this location, to see if there was still a Thunderjaw here, because I beat a Thunderjaw here as part of an earlier quest. And to date, this is probably my favorite battle where I really use the environment to my advantage, because there's this location right here, and I'm showing you where it is on the map, where there was this Thunderjaw, and he was back there, and if you hid behind these rock things, he could not get to you at all. He couldn't shoot you, he couldn't approach you, he couldn't do anything, and you could just take him out. And that was really satisfying because, you know, the game never told me to go to that place. I found that place myself by sort of scouting the battle before I started it. And so I found that place, and it was really, really helpful place. And I feel like that's all intentional. Like, that's kind of what the game wants you to do, or that's one way for the game. That's one way that the game wants you to play. And it's not cheating or anything. Okay, so there was no Thunderjaw there, but I remember reading on a wiki that this is the only place in the game where there are 2 Thunderjaws. So I came here with the idea that maybe I would corrupt one, or not corrupt, but override one, and then it would attack the other. So that was my plan. They're a little far apart. I'm not quite sure, you know, if they're even going to aggro each other, but I thought, okay, let's try it. So my first goal is to sneak to some grass down there so that I can get close to him so I can do it. But the plan completely failed because he saw me immediately, and then I had to run for my life. At this point, I'm just trying to get away. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm just trying to get away. And I get back here, and I kind of stop because I feel like this is probably a safe spot. And then as I'm back here, I'm noticing that he seems not to be able to get to me. It seems like, even though these things are pretty... I mean, these things can move pretty well, and they can certainly go up hills, but I think maybe they can't go up steps. And I think it might be some steps that's blocking him from getting to me. So it looks like he's basically just stuck back there. So, really kind of just by accident, it looks like I found a pretty good place to just sit here and shoot him. He did hit me with that shot, though, so I need to be a little bit careful. And you can see it took pretty decent damage. I mean, it took almost half of my health. So even though this is on easy mode, you know, a couple shots from one of these things will kill you. It's just that you're not likely to get hit a lot of times in a row without being able to heal. So that's kind of what makes it easy. Now these arrows are doing decent damage, but this guy's got a lot of health. And of course the best way to kill a Thunderjaw, as I've learned, is to expose the heart, which is on the side. You have to knock off some armor panels that they have. But after you knock off the armor panels, the heart is exposed, and then if you hit the heart, you take big time damage. So I'm just sort of chipping away at him right here, but I'm about to knock off the shield to expose his heart, and then I'm going to get him, I think, twice. Yeah, okay, his heart is exposed now. I'm going to get him, I think, twice for big, big damage, and that's going to kill him. There we go. So here's shot number 1 to the heart. Yes. 1600. Shot number 2, now he's dead. So to finish this, that was the end of the quest. This quest called Deadliest Game. But when you go back and you report that the quest is over, they immediately start you on another quest where you have to go find your friend who is out trying to hunt Red Maw. And Red Maw is the name given to a legendary Thunderjaw. So I'm basically going to hunt a second Thunderjaw right now, but in a different location. A specific Thunderjaw in a specific location. And I'm going to have an NPC friend for this battle. But before that battle starts, I see that my NPC friend is battling these yellow guys, so I got to kill them first. Killed a lot of yellow guys over the course of this game, and probably slower and more carefully than I really needed to. This battle ends up breaking down. I can't stay hidden, and they start coming after me, so then I just start fighting them. One of the things I think is so interesting about the NPCs in this game is the way they're invincible. They die. Well, some can die, I've discovered. But if they're important to the plot, like this one is, then when they run out of HP, they sort of lay on the ground for a while, but then they resurrect, you know, kind of like a vampire or a zombie. They just get back up, and then they have to get knocked down again, and then they can get back up again. So they're basically immortal. And I've never really put it to the test to see, like, could your immortal NPC friend simply fight the whole fight for you? Because I'm not really quite sure why they couldn't, you know? I mean, even in this next battle where I'm actually against the Thunderjaw, what if I just hid in the bush, walked away for an hour or two and came back? Would my friend have killed the Thunderjaw? Basically, you know, I don't know. It's kind of hard to imagine that that's what would happen, but they are immortal, so I don't really know how the game deals with that. I guess I could just Google it. I'm sure someone's figured that out, but I've never asked. Alright, so here's my friend, so now I'm gonna go around and gather some stuff. And then me and the friend are gonna go fight this last Thunderjaw. And this last battle is different from the first two because I was not able to find like an environmental shield. I wasn't able to find a place to just hide. Pretty much had to fight him out in the open. And it was really hard. Because he's got a lot of HP, and also because I just had no strategy at all. I've played this game for as much as I've been able to. I've been playing this game using like a stealthy, you know, don't get yourself in too much danger type of approach. And when I'm forced to sort of battle out in the open, I'm just not that good. I don't have the skills. And I'm so used to being stealthy that I'm not smart about things like changing my equipment. I'm realizing now that I fought this entire battle with the stealth armor on, which is weak. I had much stronger armor that I could have worn, but I just didn't even think to put it on. That was dumb. So but you know, he doesn't detect me immediately, so I do have a chance to try to find an environmental hiding spot. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I find something that I think might work, but as we will see, it does not work. It's this big rock right here. So I think, yeah, okay, I'm going to hide behind this rock, cut off his line of sight. He won't be able to see me. I'm pretty far away. He might just, you know, search around with a yellow circle, and I'll just shoot him from up here. So that's plan A. So let's see how it goes. I got my tear blast. And he seems to know exactly where I am. He comes right up, and he smashes my rock. So not a good plan, plan A. So now I'm running for my life. I'm basically just trying to find a place where I can regroup. heal myself and just basically get his aggro off. I mean, that was always my initial instinct. Anytime I had a red exclamation point, my instinct was to turn it yellow again. Get as far away as possible until it turns back to yellow, and then I can come reapproach and sort of attack on my terms. That's kind of the way I've tried to play this whole game. And they've allowed me to do that for a lot of the game. Just not this particular part. I mean, this is a fully open map. I'm not locked in this area. So I could definitely just run away from this guy. Run all the way back to the bonfire if I wanted to. And I think if I came back, I don't know if he would have regenerated health or not. I don't think he would have if I'm not gone for too long. So just running away and coming back is always an option, but I try not to do that here. I try to just get far enough away that he would ignore me and maybe turn on my friend, and then I could face him up. He was pretty aggressive in chasing me. So just trying to get away. I clipped a little bit of the video there because it was kind of long. Just trying to get away. I realize I'm not going to be able to just snipe this guy from total safety, so it's going to be more of a strategy of shoot him, run for cover somewhere else, shoot him, run for cover somewhere else, that kind of thing. Still got that friend out there though, you see. She's getting killed constantly, but like, would she be able to just beat this guy by herself? I don't know. I still only have 15 of these arrows instead of 60 because I could never find a stupid raccoon bone or something like that. I play the entire game without just stumbling across a raccoon. I mean, I have stumbled across like 2 or 3 raccoons, but whenever I kill them, I don't get what I need. Am I really going to go out and like farm raccoons? I feel like because of the way I can just recraft them at high speed, I'm not really going to worry about it too much. But I would prefer to have a quiver of 60 of these strong arrows rather than 15. I think he's getting close to dying here. Yeah, he's close. Here I'm just trying to shoot him right through the trees, which does not work. But obviously he's distracted by my friend, so the friend does serve a purpose in this fight. I don't know how much damage she does, but she did help. I'm hoping that something like that will be the case in the final battle, because I have quite a few NPCs who claim they're going to help me. So we'll see. Anyway, this is almost over. I think 1 or 2 more arrow shots and he goes down. So that's it. Not a very impressive performance by me. Not much skills. Just run. Run for your life. And then here I am finishing up the quest. I had to come in here and talk to this NPC and read here. I'm going to read this book here. Aloy is actually now mentioned in this book. This is the legend of Red Maw. And it's been updated to talk about how Red Maw died. And how Aloy played a role. I thought that was kind of a nice touch. So, let's just wrap this up because I got a few more minutes. I'm almost 90 hours into this game. I only have a few things left. Most of the DLC I have left, and then the final battle. I've done pretty much all the side quests that the base game has to offer. And there's a few other things like corrupted zones and things like that that I haven't finished yet. And I might finish those. I assume there's some kind of reward for finishing all of them, so I might do it. But we'll see. I'm at the point in the game right now where I feel like there's stuff that I don't mind leaving on the table and not completing. But probably as I get towards the end and the reality of this game being over starts to click in my brain, I'll start to feel more desperate for anything, including stuff like corrupted zones, so we'll have to see.
What was that prayer you were saying when I first came in?
I like the way these DLCs normally get published, you know, 2 or 3 months after the release of the game, so that you get to play a lot of hours, but just as you're starting to feel satiated, you take a break, and then it comes back a little bit later with some new, exciting content that you're really excited about. When you come along and find a game years later, like I am for this, and the DLC's already there, you kind of have to decide, do you want to just do the DLC right away? Do you want to try to kind of simulate a wait? Like, what do you want to do? I'm just going to play it right away, but I know that instead of playing it at a time where I'm like desperate and hungry for new content, I'm playing it at a time where I feel like I've already just played a lot. And I think that's going to make me not appreciate it as much. But I didn't play Horizon Zero Dawn in 2017. I didn't know. This has been an absolutely great game. I'm going to make more videos where I talk more about overall this game and how much I love it. But it's been an absolutely great game. It's really, really fun. And I'm really, really excited for these last bits that I have left. Alright, that's it for the Hunter's Lodge. I'm a member. I'm a hawk. Great. More later.